All right, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Akeem here to give you another scout report on a defensive end headed towards the 2017 NFL Draft. This blog, I'm here to talk about DeMarcus Walker coming out of Florida State, actually coming off a couple of great seasons in 2015 and 16. Now, he's actually hailing from Jacksonville, Florida, and he was highly recruited coming out of high school. He just missed out on going to Alabama. Nick Saban was recruiting him well, but he had lost him in his grasp, and he actually decided to become a Florida State Seminole, which I think it was a great decision for him. Now, in 2015, he actually emerged as a star, in which he actually registered 15 and a half tackles for loss and 10 and a half sacks. Some people, including myself, thought he could even came out in 2015, but decided to stay for one more year, in which he became more of a vocal leader in the defensive side. And he even improved his numbers with 21 and a half tackles for loss to go along with 16 sacks, earning first team All-ACC honors and the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Was a finalist for many awards in college football throughout the nation as well, but he actually has some great honors for him at the end of this past season. Now let's talk about his strengths and weaknesses entering this year's draft. The first and foremost that I do like about him is that he became a good vocal leader defensively, which shows that how much he improved during his career in college football for the Noles. That's one strength that I do like about him. He definitely is a great, reliable, and a durable athlete that I do like about him. He played at over 90% of his plays of the last two seasons for the Noles. That shows that he has great durability. He has a couple of good skills in his name, in his arsenal to become a good pass rusher at the next level. I do like the fact that he's very dependable. That's the thing I like most about him. And and another thing that I do like is the fact that he can even help in run support. I mentioned the tackles for loss and the sacks this past season. He also had 68 tackles as well. That shows that he can be a good run support player. And I think because of that, with the combination of his durability, I think he could be an every down DE at the next level. Now, as far as his weaknesses, the thing that kind of dropped his stock entering this year's draft is his overall athleticism and his physical skills. He's 6'3", 280 pounds. Now, I wish he was just a little bit slimmer, and possibly if he lost a little bit more weight, he could be a faster athlete. He runs a 4.8 540. I wish he was just a little bit faster. Now, I mentioned his overall athleticism. It is average. Just about everything about him as far as his physicality and his speed and his strength is just average. I think he had just over 20 reps of 225 pounds, which is okay and average. His speed's pretty average. His overall athleticism is just average, and that's why he kind of dropped his draft status entering this year's draft. And we have seen some good DEs coming playing for Jimbo Fisher's Florida State Noles, and they didn't really emerge too well at the next level in the NFL. So there could be because of the scheme defensively for Florida State, in which is why DeMarcus Walker had such a big season, because they had so many skilled players defensively for Florida State. That's why overall there's so many players defensively that did well in Florida State, because they had the country's best defenders, and that's why DeMarcus Walker possibly had so much success over the last two seasons. I think he's a skilled player. He does have skills. He does have moves to get to pass rusher. He does have the ability to get his nose to the football and get to the ball carrier. He has the abilities, but as far as physically, he doesn't really have the physical specifications that a lot of these scouts and coaches want your defensive end to have, and as opposed to outside linebackers. You want players who have an excellent burst coming off the line of scrimmage, good quickness. He needs to work on his feet. It's just too much average stuff about him as far as the physical aspect of this particular football player, but he does have the mental aspect. And because of the mentality, it's more about what goes on in your head. If you have the brains to play at the next level, that could definitely change things around if he just works harder on the physical aspect. And I think with a good strength and conditioning coach, that could definitely help him improve. And because of his IQ as far as football wise, I think that he could be a good third round pick for this year's draft, and that is my projection. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys in just a couple minutes, I have one more blog for today. Thank you for watching this blog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.